Welcome to the deep dive. Today we've got this user-submitted transcript, something called HYPE SENPAI. And our job really is to unpack how it tries to generate all this excitement, keep you engaged.
Yeah, and it jumps right in, doesn't it?
Totally. Right off the bat, you blow your mind. You do not want to miss this. Big energy.
And the calls to action are immediate too. Like, share, subscribe, boom, right at the start.
So what's the thinking there? Why that, instant push?
Well, it's partly about setting a tone, that high energy, but it's also, trying to tap into emotion quickly, create a positive buzz, maybe a bit of FOMO, fear of missing out.
Ah, the FOMO. Makes sense.
And getting those early likes or shares, that signals to the platform like, hey, people are clicking, which can boost its visibility almost straight away.
Right, feeding the algorithm. Okay, so let's dive into the first actual section. It's labeled, Start with HYPE. Promises Pure Fire.
Pure fire, yeah. That's quite the claim.
It suggests using short, powerful descriptions, emotional pulls. What makes something feel like fire here?
I think fire in this context just means high impact, something that grabs you instantly. It's about short, punchy phrases, maybe strong visuals if it were a video, tied directly to feelings, excitement, maybe even nostalgia sometimes.
So less explanation, more immediate feeling.
Exactly, a gut reaction, establishing that positive link right away. No messing around.
Okay. Then, as you go through it, you see these little mini hooks. But wait, it gets even crazier. Or the next one, it'll leave you questioning everything.
Classic cliffhangers, basically, just on a smaller scale.
How well do those actually work, do you think, to keep people watching?
Oh, they can be pretty effective. It plays on curiosity, right? Psychologically, we tend to remember unfinished things better, the Zeigarnik effect, sort of. So promising something more incredible keeps you invested. You want the payoff.
Right, you gotta see what happens next.
Yeah.
Then, smack in the middle, there's this direct ask. Comment HYPE below if you're loving it so far.
The mid-roll engagement prompt.
Yeah. What's the psychology there? Is it just about getting comments?
Well, yes, partly. More comments look good, again, for the algorithm. Engagement signals value. But it's also about creating a sense of community, making people feel involved, like they're part of something.
A quick pulse check, too, maybe. See if people are actually loving it.
Definitely. It's a simple feedback mechanism, and it reinforces the theme HYPE.
Okay, then the energy seems to ramp up again. Talks about cranking things up even higher.
Yeah, escalating things.
And it uses these really relatable, but kind of over-the-top reactions. Like, bro, when I saw this, I legit fell off my chair.
Yeah, the exaggerated reaction.
Does that actually work? It feels a bit much sometimes.
It can. The exaggeration is the point. It's trying to model the desired reaction for the viewer. By showing this extreme enthusiasm, the idea is to make the upcoming content feel that much more significant, that exciting. Make the hype contagious.
So even if you don't literally fall off your chair.
Right. It primes you to expect something pretty amazing, worth getting worked up about.
Gotcha. And that leads into the big finish. The moment you've all been waiting for. Focus on the most insane part.
The grand finale, yes.
They even mention using pauses, maybe music, to build tension. How important is that buildup?
Oh, it's crucial. It's all about maximizing the impact of whatever that final reveal is. The suspense heightens your anticipation, makes the payoff feel bigger, more satisfying. The pauses, the mute, it's like a drum roll. Focuses your attention.
Signals that this is the peak moment.
Precisely. Create a memorable high point for the whole thing.
And then the outro doesn't really let up, does it? Still high energy, calls the content, bangers.
Nope, keeps that energy going.
And pushes hard again for likes, subscribes, notifications, really reinforcing those initial asks.
Exactly. It's about locking in the viewer, converting that positive feeling from the climax into a longer-term commitment. Make it easy to come back, build that viewing habit. Don't let the hype die down before asking again.
So pulling it all together from this deep dive,
Yeah.
it seems like a formula almost.
There are definitely clear techniques, yeah.
High energy opening, emotional language, those mini hooks for anticipation, direct calls for interaction, exaggerated reactions, big climax, and then reinforce in the outro.
It's a structured approach to manufacturing and maintaining excitement. And what's interesting is, while this feels very online video, these core ideas aren't new. Think about magicians building suspense, or carnival barkers promising the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
That's true. The tools change, but the psychology is similar.
Exactly. It's about capturing attention and playing on emotions. Been happening for ages.
That actually leads to a good final thought for people listening. Consider where else you see these kinds of hype building techniques.
Outside of just online content.
Yeah, maybe in advertising, politics, even everyday conversations. What are the maybe ethical lines when using this stuff to grab attention or influence people?
That's a really interesting question to ponder. How far is too far?
Something to think about. Anyway, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.